bosan lihat muka gue dan lihat gue makan, dan gue juga bakal begah makan, gak mungkin mati. Oke guys, kalau gitu episode kali ini di Tebet kita udahin ya, karena emang udah mau malam juga. Ini pasti macet banget. Biasanya Tebet Utara tuh macet karena banyak orang yang datang pulang kerja sama orang yang mau belanja dan mau makan. Oke guys, kalau gitu saya Erwin Mauron harus pamit. Kita ketemu lagi next episode. Kita ketemu di mana ya? Nah, ya gue akan keluar kota, tapi gue nggak tahu kemana. Ya, kita dikasih tahu akan keluar kota ya, tidak di Jakarta terus. Jadi kalau mau yang ngobrol-ngobrol di Twitter, ngasih informasi makanan, alamat dan lain-lain. Hoi, pulang ya. Oke. Oh ya, tes dulu dong.
Indonesia refuses entry from 11 countries over Omicron variant. President ensures investment continuity and revision of job creation law. Hello, good evening viewers. Market Headlines is ready to provide you information from business, economic and capital market sector. And as the pandemic is still ongoing, we will provide you the latest COVID-19 information. Please stay safe by taking some simple precautions such as physical distancing, wearing a mask, avoiding crowds, cleaning your hands and having less mobility. And with me, Fajar Wayong, this is Market Headlines. And let's open up market headlines. The Indonesian government has decided to refuse entry to international travelers from 10 African countries and Hong Kong as precautionary measures against the importation of new COVID-19 variant Omicron.
The Indonesian government has decided to refuse entry to international travelers from 10 African countries and Hong Kong as precautionary measures against the importations of new COVID-19 variants named Omicron. The 10 African countries are South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Mozambique, Eswatini, Malawi, Angola, and Zambia.
Afrika Selatan telah mengumumkan adanya varian baru yang merebak di salah satu negara bagian mereka. Varian yang baru yang merebak di salah satu negara bagian ini, varian yang disebut mengandung 50 mutasi yang dapat mempengaruhi kecepatan penularan dan kemampuan virus untuk menghindari antibodi. Pertama, pelarangan masuk untuk WNA yang memiliki riwayat perjalanan selama 14 hari terakhir ke negara-negara berikut: Afrika Selatan, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Mozambik, Eswatini, Malawi, Angola, Zambia, dan Hong Kong. Melihat distribusi negara-negara tersebut, kita tidak bisa mengesampingkan kemungkinan bahwa varian Omicron ini sudah menyebar ke lebih banyak negara lagi.
Luhut said that although the new variant is spreading in Africa, 13 countries announced that they have detected confirmed and probable cases of Omicron variant in their countries. The Omicron variant has been detected in Germany, Belgium, Britain, Israel, Australia, and Hong Kong. Moreover, the new variant is claimed to have 5 mutations that may affect the transmission speed and the capability of virus to avoid antibody formed by vaccine or antibody produced naturally due to infection caused by the previous variant of COVID-19. IDX Channel reports.
And Minister of Health Budi Gunadi Sadikin said Hong Kong had the greatest risk as a source of imported cases of the Omicron variant to Indonesia. This is because the intensity of flights from that region to Indonesia is recorded more often than other countries that have announced findings of cases of Omicron infection. Besides Hong Kong, followed by Italy, England, and South Africa. Meanwhile, the countries suspected of having entered the Omicron variant that also have the potential to create imported cases in the country are the Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark. Previously, Budi said the new variant of COVID-19 named Omicron has not been detected in Indonesia. He claimed that laboratories in Indonesia were able to quickly identify new variants of COVID-19, including this B11529 variant.
Pemerintah Indonesia mengambil kebijakan selalu berbasis data. Jadi kita lihat kasus konfirmasi positif itu 9 negara, 128 kasus. Kasus yang probable masih mungkin, masih hearsay, itu ada 4 negara lainnya. Untuk negara-negara yang sudah terkonfirmasi ada, yang paling banyak penerbangan ke Indonesia adalah Hong Kong, Italia, Inggris, baru Afrika Selatan. Untuk negara-negara yang kemungkinan ada paling besar dari Belanda, Jerman. Risiko terbesar ada dari Hong Kong, Italia, Inggris, baru Afrika Selatan. Karena penerbangannya sering kayak kita. Sampai sekarang Indonesia belum teramati adanya varian.
At the 30th Asia-Europe Meeting Summit, President Joko Widodo said that there are 2 areas of cooperation that need to be improved by member countries, namely regarding the transition to new renewable energy and the transition to digital transfer.
President Joko Widodo said that there are 2 areas of cooperation that need to be improved by member countries of the Asian-Europe Meeting or ASEM, namely regarding the transitions to new renewable energy and the transitions to digital transfer. This was conveyed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs Retno Marsudi when giving a press statement regarding the 13th Asia-Europe Meeting.
Beliau juga menyampaikan 2 area kerjasama yang perlu ditingkatkan oleh negara-negara ASEM, yaitu transisi menuju energi baru terbarukan, termasuk melalui investasi dan alih teknologi, serta transisi digital yang inklusif. KTT ASEM ini menghasilkan 3 outcome documents. Yang pertama adalah chair statement yang memuat komitmen penguatan kerjasama ASEM antara lain pencapaian SDGs, pemberdayaan perempuan, konektivitas dan ekonomi digital.
Another document is Phnom Penh Statement on Post-COVID-19 Socio-Economic Recovery, and the last document produced is the Way Forward on ASEM Connectivity, which discusses technical rules for strengthening ASEM connectivity. Retno said in the 2 days of the ASEM summit, there were a number of issues highlighted by other ASEM leaders, including the importance of global multilateralism. Then, the development cooperations to achieve the target of Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs and raise above the pandemic, as well as strengthening the global health system to anticipate the potential for the next pandemic. IDX Channel reports.
And we're moving on to global update. This belief and confusion washed over South Africa as the announcement of the discovery of the Omicron COVID-19 variant. Meanwhile, tighter restrictions have come into force in the Netherlands amid record COVID cases and concerns over the new Omicron variant. And more stories on today's International Minute. Israel is to ban foreigners from entering the country for 14 days and use surveillance to help the spread of the new COVID variant, local media report. The ban is expected to come into effect at midnight on Sunday, following full cabinet approval. Israel has so far confirmed one case of the potentially more infectious Omicron variant first detected in South Africa. Many countries have since banned travel to South Africa and its neighbors. Tighter restrictions have come into force in the Netherlands amid record COVID cases and concerns over the new Omicron variant. For at least the next 3 weeks, hospitality and cultural venues such as cafes, museums and cinemas must close by 5 p.m. The authorities consider the measures critical to protect the country's hospitals from becoming overwhelmed. Meanwhile, some 61 people are currently being tested for the new variant. Canadian e-commerce company Shopify recorded worldwide sales of nearly $2.9 billion on Black Friday, an increase about 21% in comparison to last year, the company said Saturday. New York, London, and Los Angeles were among the top-selling cities, the company said, while apparel and accessories was the top-selling product category. Shopify also said it funded 23,000-plus tons of carbon removal to counteract emissions from the delivery of every order placed on its platform on Black Friday. Disbelief and confusion washed over South Africa as the announcement of the discovery of the Omicron COVID-19 variant grounded flights and raised fears of a hard lockdown in Africa's most developed economy. Flights from the country to the United States, United Kingdom, and nations in Europe were swiftly banned after South African scientists officially announced the discovery of the virus strain on Thursday. IDX Channel reports. Market headlines will be right back. Stay tuned with us.
Awalnya nggak langsung yakin, tapi setelah ikut 2 kali acara edukasi Bursa Efek, akhirnya tertarik juga.
Karena mudah, saya ajarkan ibu-ibu lain, sampai anak saya juga ikutan.
Selesai dagang, saya bawa 100.000 untuk nabung saham. Hasilnya jelas sekali.
Yuk kita nabung saham sekarang.
Kementerian Pariwisata dan Ekonomi Kreatif secara tegas akan memperketat bagi para wisatawan asing yang akan liburan ke Bali.
Ya, nantinya wisatawan asing harus melakukan swab PCR sebelum keberangkatan.
Para wisatawan-wisatawan yang sehat, para wisatawan yang sudah tervaksin.
Selama pandemi, banyak armada taksi dari taksi di Thailand menganggur.
Berencana akan melepaskan saham holding BUMN Pertambangan Main ID di Bursa Efek Indonesia.
Awal mula Kak Sabrina tuh bisa menjadi analis pasar modal tuh apa sih yang memotivasi hingga tertarik dengan dunia investasi?
Waktu itu aku pengen tahu kira-kira saham itu apa sih sebenarnya gitu kan. Kenapa banyak orang kaya itu terlahir dari dunia capital market gitu. Muncullah aku tuh kayak kesannya kayak aku kayak nemuin passion aku gitu karena dunia investasi itu kan lebih ke dynamic, jadi tiap menuntut mereka tuh harus tetap belajar dan belajar.
Para petinggi negara anggota G20 sepakat untuk mengurangi pemanasan global hingga 1,5 derajat Celcius.
Kita bisa target kita maju, tetapi dengan bantuan teknologi dan investasi dari internasional.
Kementerian Keuangan menilai pemulihan ekonomi akibat pandemi COVID-19 belum berjalan secara merata di seluruh.
Pemulihan ekonomi global tidak merata.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. President Joko Widodo guarantees that the flow of investment from investors who have entered Indonesia remains safe, even though the Constitutional Court ordered the government and the House of Representatives to revise Law Number 11 of 2020 concerning job creation. Jokowi ensured that despite ordering improvements, the agency's decision stated that a job creation law could still apply. Likewise, with all derivative regulations that have been issued by the government to implement the law. Jokowi stated that to continue to ensure the continuity and certainty of investment in Indonesia, the government will immediately implement the decision of the Constitutional Court by revising the law.
Saya pastikan kepada para pelaku usaha dan para investor dari dalam dan luar negeri bahwa investasi yang telah dilakukan serta investasi yang sedang dan akan berproses tetap aman dan terjamin. Sekali lagi, saya pastikan pemerintah menjamin keamanan dan kepastian investasi di Indonesia. MK sudah menyatakan bahwa Undang-Undang Cipta Kerja masih tetap berlaku. Pemerintah dan DPR sebagai pembentuk undang-undang diberikan waktu paling lama 2 tahun untuk melakukan revisi atau perbaikan-perbaikan.
Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan asked the Minister of Manpower to review the formula for determining the provincial minimum wage. He conveyed his urge through the letter of proposal for reviewing the provincial minimum wage determination formula. In considering the proposals contained in the letter, Anies said that a change in the formula was needed because of the dynamics of economic growth. According to him, the dynamics of economic growth, especially since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, are very different from one sector to another. Anies said that not all business sectors during the COVID-19 period experienced a decline. Some sectors actually experienced an increase, including the transportation sector, warehousing, information and communication, financial services, health and social activities. Regarding the reason for the request for a review of the provincial minimum wage, Anies said it was to fulfill the principles of justice and harmonious industrial relations, so that the welfare of workers can be realized. Anies said that not all business sectors during the COVID-19 pandemic experienced a decline in performance. At the Indonesia-Taiwan dialogue on the food industry, the Ministry of Industry is seeking broader cooperation in the food and beverage sector with industries originating from Taiwan. The Industry Ministry's Directorate General of Agro-Industry is seeking broader cooperation between stakeholders in the food and beverage sector, including with industries originating from Taiwan. It is conveyed in his statement during the third Indonesia-Taiwan dialogue on the food industry. In the future, Ardika expressed optimism that the forum would create an enhanced cooperation in using pertinent technology, especially for small and medium-sized industries. Secretary of the Directorate General of Agro-Industry at the Ministry, Muhammad Ari Kurnia Taufik, who co-chaired the dialogue, also called on all parties to make the most of this forum. At the forum, several agendas were discussed, including opportunities for cooperation in the field of downstreaming foreign plants, the development of forage feed concentrates, plant-based foods that have texture similar to meat, and the analysis of food contact materials, microplastic and pesticide on essential oils. The third Indonesia-Taiwan dialogue was held jointly with the Indonesian Trade and Economic Office in Taipei and was attended by F&B industry stakeholders. The meeting promoted industrial collaboration with various parties from the country. IDX Channel reports. Garuda Indonesia is collaborating with Singapore Airlines on a commercial partnership. Garuda Indonesia's management say that the collaboration is an important momentum for efforts to restore the company's performance. Garuda Indonesia is collaborating with Singapore Airlines on a commercial partnership. Later, passengers of Garuda Indonesia can fly to London with Singapore Airlines planes. Garuda Indonesia President Director Irfan Setiaputra said Singapore Airlines passengers can also use Garuda Indonesia planes to Bali, Jakarta and Surabaya. In addition, Irfan said that Singapore Airlines will also expand its flight network for Garuda Indonesia passengers to Mumbai. This is targeted to be carried out starting January 1st, 2022, after obtaining local authority approval. Not only that, Garuda Indonesia and Singapore Airlines will also develop cooperation flights to several other routes to support air connectivity to Indonesia and Singapore, as well as the Southeast Asia region. This collaboration, continued Irfan, is an important momentum for efforts to restore Garuda Indonesia's performance. This is because the national airline has the opportunity to become the first Indonesian airline that can support travel programs based on vaccinations in Indonesia and Singapore. IDX Channel reports. And stay with us because market headlines will be back with informations from the capital market.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut. Wakil Presiden Maruf Amin menegaskan pengembangan industri halal menjadi salah satu fokus pemerintah dalam memajukan sektor industri di Indonesia.
Kita mampu untuk menjadi presiden
Awal mula Kak Sabrina tuh bisa menjadi analis pasar modal tuh apa sih yang memotivasi hingga tertarik dengan dunia investasi?
Waktu itu aku pengen tahu kira-kira saham itu apa sih sebenarnya gitu kan. Kenapa banyak orang kaya itu terlahir dari dunia capital market gitu. Muncullah aku tuh kayak kesannya kayak aku kayak nemuin passion aku gitu karena dunia investasi itu kan lebih ke dynamic, jadi tiap menuntut mereka tuh harus tetap belajar dan belajar.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement, earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,504.81 and then approaching the closing time on the first session. The index was on the level of 6,590.14. And then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,608.29. And in short, JCI went up 0.71%. And next, let's see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got infrastructure as the leader of strengthening trend that went up 1.59%. And transportation and logistics went up 1.2%. And we got cyclic as the leader weakening trend that went down 0.96%, and non-cyclic went down 0.53%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Telkom went up 3.24% to the level of 4,140 rupiah per share. Bank Rakyat Indonesia went up 0.24% to the level of 4,170 rupiah per share. Bank Sentral Asia or BBCA went up 1.272% to the level of 7,400 rupiah per share. Astra International went up 1.27% to the level of 5,975 rupiah per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Pigas went down 1.28% to the level of 1,540 rupiah per share. Bambu Kopin went down 3.18% to the level of 304 rupiah per share. Bukalapak went down 1.72% to the level of 570 rupiah per share. And Kebag went down 6.84% to the level of 109 rupiah per share. And next, the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar opened at the level of 14,340. Rupiah was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar, and it was closed at the level of 14,294. And in summary, rupiah went up 0.31%. And the information still from the capital market. Indosat plans to distribute interim dividends to its shareholders. The amount of interim dividend to be distributed reached 4.99 trillion rupiah.
Indosat plans to distribute interim dividends to its shareholders. This plan was decided based on the decisions of the Board of Directors and approved by the company's commissioners on November 25, 2021. Billy Nicholas Simanjunta, Corporate Secretary of Indosat, said the amount of interim dividend to be distributed is 920.14 rupiah per share. The total amount of dividends distributed reached 4.99 trillion rupiah. The financial data as of September 30, 2021, which underlies the distributions of dividends, is net profit of 5.8 trillion rupiah. The retained earnings balance, which is not restricted in use, is 15.11 trillion rupiah and total equity is 18.81 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, Indosat's revenue was 23.06 trillion rupiah during the first 9 months of 2021. The realizations of this income grew 11.96% compared to the 2020 period, which was 20.59 trillion rupiah. IDX Channel reports.
Until October 2021, United Tractors has sold 2,590 units of Komatsu heavy equipment. The company's sales jumped up by 92.56% year-on-year. Supported by the mining sector in October 2021, the sales performance of United Tractors was still steady. Based on monthly reports, sales in October 2021 were the highest so far this year. Previously, the highest Komatsu sales record was recorded in August 2021. In detail, the mining sector still dominates sales in October 2021, amounting to 56% of total sales, followed by sales to the construction sector, which contributed 15%, the agribusiness sector by 12%, and the forestry sector by 9%. If accumulated, the company has sold 2,590 units of Komatsu heavy equipment during the first 10 months of 2021. This figure has increased by 92.56% from sales in the same period last year, which was only 1,345 units. Komatsu's market share as of October 2021 is 22%. This year, the company targets to sell 3,000 units of heavy equipment. This means that the company has realized 86.3% of the year-end target. IDX Channel reports. And step aside from market condition as the efforts in achieving herd immunity is still going on. Here is an update data about COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. And to prevent the spread of COVID-19, always wear a mask and get vaccinated immediately. Masks have been shown to reduce the risk of transmission by 80%, while vaccines minimize the risk of death by 73%. So let's wear a mask and get vaccinated, because masks and vaccines keep us healthy and happy. And I'm Fajar Wayong. Have a nice evening and stay safe.